Hi. Okay, so I did my testimony. I recorded it earlier and I didn't post it or anything, but it was like 20 minutes long. Like, nobody had time for that. So I thought I'd just try to sum it up in a few minutes and not like get into all the boring details and stuff. So, I don't know which one I'll post because that one was pretty honest and like from my heart and whatever. So we'll see what happens. But um, okay, well, I'm the baby of six kids, and my parents are much older than me. My father was born in 1919, and my mom was born in 1934. So, when they were married, they lived up in a shack up at Mount Baker with like no running water and no power. And so he hunted and fished, and she cooked and canned, and that's kind of how they lived for a long time. But I didn't see any of that. I grew up in a house and stuff, but um, real cute house that I loved. But anyway, so they were divorced when I was like 5 years old, and my mom was really, like sick a lot and everything, so it came from like a welfare family, pretty poor, and um, anyway, I moved. I actually gave my heart to the Lord as a young age, and I just remember like crying out to the Lord in church. I was like 5, just crying out to the Lord and everything. And so I knew about the Lord, and we sang in church, and we sang wherever my mom would want. She like played music and stuff, so we would play nursing homes or whatever. And I have a heart for old people, I think, just because of that, because like seeing they'd press pennies in my hand and stuff when I was little. They're so cute. Anyway, so we to make a long story short, I didn't graduate high school. I went to Hawaii. I went to San Juan Islands and lived for a while. And then I went to I met a lady there and went to Hawaii. And anyway, um, let me just keep going here. I'm getting off track again. So, 1999, I was working as a dealer, and I had an epiphany. I felt like I heard from the Lord, and I wanted to move my parents in. And I didn't, my mother at the time was in her 60s and late 60s, and she was working for like $6 an hour at a daycare. And my father was living with my brother, and he was not getting the care that he deserved. So I was like, look, if you'll both agree to live in the same house, you can both come live with me. So that's what we did. And my father ended up getting dementia and everything, and my mom like was the mom, and she did all the cooking, and I didn't do my laundry since like 1989 until she got sick. But after my dad passed, she ended up getting sick. And I had a business at the time. I had a pretty lucrative mortgage company, and then in 2007 it failed, and that was my dad passed. My mom came down with cancer, and I could really care less about the business. So there's a lot to that, but I'm not going to go into that now. But so it failed, but I got to do some really cool stuff with the money and with some of the money. And when I left there, I was $1 million in debt, mostly real estate, but whatever. So with after my mom passed, I moved in with my best friend and Ben, which we've been friends for like 25 years. And I felt like the Lord wanted me to come here, but like since I've been here the last 2 years, I really like it's been like one compromise after another, and then I really just feel like I had a midlife crisis, and all of a sudden I'm like doing drugs and being a cougar and whatever I want. So one of my girlfriends, we were doing I think we're on E and ketamine or something, and she always wanted to talk about God. I'm like, I really didn't want to talk about God when I was high, because that's why I was shamed. Like, that's like the least time I want to talk about him. And she always wanted to talk about God, and she made me watch this video, and it was like this girl goes to heaven and hell, and it just really had an impact on me. Like the Holy Spirit really got a hold of my heart, and I've just flip flopped a lot over the years, and I see now where like just a little compromise, and boom, I'm back, doing whatever, and I think every time it gets worse. This last time I think was the worst. So, but like something changed in me, and then I just kept watching other videos and just like seeing heaven and how amazing heaven is. Like these two girls went to heaven and hell, and their stories are almost identical, and one was in Ecuador and one was like somewhere in Europe, and seeing how amazing heaven is, and like my mom's there, I know she's there, and how amazing her mansion was, and then how horrible hell is, and like nobody wants to go there, and and just like, the love of God really like started to transform my heart, and really softened my spirit. And I contacted my old pastor, who I haven't even been there in like a couple of years, and she says, it's probably a good idea for you to have a change of scenery. And that's how come this whole thing came about. And I was like, yeah, well, that seems like a good idea. Like, just get away for like a month, but I'm not sure if I could do that with my dog and my work and whatever, and what that would look like. But that got into my heart where, like, I felt like I was supposed to go. And so, so I went to a prayer team at their church, like a prophetic prayer team, and they didn't know it was me coming, and they didn't tell them anything about my situation or anything like that. They don't know, anything. And what was on my heart was like going. So I thought, am I going to go see my friend Darlene, or maybe I'll just go to this conference, or like, am I going to go move with Darlene, or what am I going to do? Like, because, I don't want to be the same person that I've been. I want to change. And, but I have a lot of amazing stuff here, So the first things out of their mouth was like, are you thinking about moving and traveling? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, you are going to be, and the Lord says it's not going to be like what you think it is. And basically there's a lot to it, but to seek, and that he would reveal to me, as the more I seeked him, the more he would reveal his plans. So I really took that to heart. And like when someone speaks to you from the Lord, like, it gets into your heart, because like the God of universe cares, like something rings to your spirit, like, that was God, and the God of universe cares about you. And so it really like starts a motivation of it starts something, and that's why prophecy is so cool. So I really came before the Lord, and I just started listening. I came like expecting, and because of the prophecy, and so I just sat in a grateful attitude, and I just started journaling. And the Lord just started speaking to me through my journals, like in a way I didn't even know who I was or whatever. And like everything has just been so amazing and revelatory. And like I don't even like, if I was gonna write a paper, I would like change it and rearrange it and whatever. But like I just write, and it's not like spirit writing, okay? It's just writing from the Lord's heart. It's like whatever I hear. Sometimes it's just a word, and I never think it's gonna make sense, but I just keep going, with whatever I hear, and at the end it always makes sense. So. But I'm going to tell you that leaving is a huge deal, because first of all, I live with Ben, we've never really been in an argument in 2 years. We had one little incident, but other than that, in 2 years, and we love each other in a pure way. It's like my family. I mean, I've known him for 25 years, and it's amazing. And I told myself that I would never leave Ben. Like, no matter what, I'm always going to live with Ben, because I don't want to be alone, first of all, and to be with somebody that we really respect and work well together is amazing. And like last year, I had a boyfriend that had basically a mansion. It was like $1 million house, like marble and whatever. And like I had my own walk-in closet and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, why don't you move in with me? And I'm like, I'm never leaving Ben. So that's how much Ben means to me. And so, and then I love my job. I've never had a job that I've loved so much. I love my guests. I do really well there, and I love the employees, and it's just been such a blessing. So for me to actually leave a very nice job, I mean, last week I had like a $2,000 day and a $700 day, better than all my days in the casino. And not just that, but I generally care about each and every person. So this is all huge. But as I've been journaling and stuff, the Lord's like, yeah, you are gonna go. And so I feel like I'm gonna go on this great journey, God or bust with the Lord. And so I've been like, all of a sudden, like nothing, that's just like what I want to do. Nothing else matters. Like my possessions don't matter. I started selling, like I've already sold like my bed's on the floor right now, because like I sold my bed frame. I've sold a really nice dresser that I liked. I'm selling my other dressers. I've sold my TV, like my 60-inch screen TV. I'm selling my cars. Actually, I'm giving one of my cars away. And so I just started saving money, because like before I was like, whatever I made that week, I'm like, oh, this is how much to blow this weekend. And I'd go through like an 8-ball of Molly and at least a gram of ketamine a week, and whatever. So I could be, this whole 2 years, I could be saving so much money when I was here. But I think I have like 4,500 now, maybe 5,000 saved, and I just started saving, so that's really huge. And I upped my giving. I started giving 20%, because I need finances. So the Lord's showing me like, that his kingdom is the opposite. So I'm like, oh, I need money, so I'm gonna start giving more away. Anyway, so I'm believing God for a motorhome. I have about 5 weeks left here, and we have to be out of the house anyway. And so that's where I'm at. So people are like, what is going on with you, and blah blah blah. I have like never been so happy, never been so joyous, never felt so secure on who I was and who I was in the Lord. And I'm going on this mission just to love on people. It's not even about religion. I think it's just basically about me having faith and trusting in the Lord. And he wants me to write a book about what, my travels. But I also think I get to go and love on people on the way. And he's going to give me little things to do, and people put in my path. It's all just going to be this supernatural God experience. So I'm really excited about it. I'm kind of nervous because, like, obviously there's no way that I can do this in my own means. It's absolutely impossible. So that's how I know it's from God. And so I'm putting this out there because, okay, 5 weeks, no motorhome. I really don't have money to purchase a motorhome that would be feasible to go cross country. And I still have to sell all my stuff and do all this kind of stuff. So it's huge. Anyway, so I don't want to make this long. It's already 11 minutes, but at least it was not 20. So I cut it down a little bit. So that's kind of where I'm at. So if my friends want to know where I'm at or where I started, this is kind of where it all began and why I'm leaving. So I can't wait to show you guys about my travels and experiences. And I think it's going to be, well, the Lord's saying it's going to be the most amazing journey of my life. And I believe him because, he's God. So anyway, there's that. Bye.